I need a motion to approve the minutes of the August 17th meeting.
16th meeting,
Oh, I got it wrong. 16th, please correct that.
and I'll move.
Okay.
I'll second.
All right, all those in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Okay, recognized visitors. Eric, Joey, you were here first.
Just here.
Okay, Eric, you were second.
Do I have something? Yes.
Go ahead.
The board of listers, the two of us anyway, would like the board, select board, to consider authorizing the town treasurer to expend up to $500 in the event that you folks aren't here to sign that order against the listers reappraisal fund. We've had two instances in the past week or the past week and a half where the orders haven't been signed yet, and we've started reappraisal, and we have to get postcards out. So I used my personal account to buy the first 250.
Wait, stop right there. I don't understand why you would have to buy them yourself anyway. This is town business. Why would we need to ask for money for postcards?
Because we have to get them in the mail to be timely with the appraisers going out into the field.
I get that, but that's the town expense.
Yes, but the town can't expend money until you sign the order.
Oh, you're saying it's because we didn't sign the orders. It's not because we don't have the money or you didn't get it off?
Right,
Because
we
no,
have
okay,
the funds.
you guys need to sign the orders.
But if-
I can't say that, and
But
that's
if-
why we need to sign orders.
If we're ready
I
to
do.
expend and we haven't the stamps,
I
because
gotcha.
that's all.
I'd go in the
So I-
office and wheel off some stamp, of course,
Yeah.
250.
We used to do it on Mondays and Wednesdays, they were ready, and now we pretty much it's Tuesday and
Well,
Thursday,
I'm just saying, if we had
Okay, I
a small
gotcha.
slush fund,
which is no big deal. It's
then
just
it wouldn't be an issue.
I don't think we even
Postage
need
to
one if
Canada-
we.
To Canada is $1.30 per postcard.
Oh my goodness, you drive up and bring it up. All right, I don't know, do you want to expend the money or do you want to get in here and sign the bills? It's up, somebody decide.
I'd make a motion to authorize the treasurer to authorize the funds to cover the orders for the listers.
Right, I wouldn't
As-
say
as
an
needed.
amount, I'd just say cover the
Yeah.
Cover the expenses for the listers as needed.
for postage. Not for anything, right, just for postage.
Right,
Well, you already have the funds in the lister fund, correct?
Right.
We have $139,000 or something.
I think that might cover it.
Yeah, so you're just looking to expend those monies.
Oh, yeah, nothing else.
So I would authorize any lister expenditures from the lister fund.
Right, but if she says we have to sign it, we still need to get.
I think we got.
Well,
Well, it would still show up on
It'll
the
still
weekly
show up.
bills.
right,
Yeah.
right, it's roughly now
I mean, no matter
Tuesdays and
what we
Thursdays.
decide, we need to sign, right?
Right,
Right,
So
Yeah.
let's do it,
yeah, Tuesdays and Thursdays,
whatever day.
I'm signing them.
they're always
I'm
ready on
fine.
Tuesdays and
Okay.
Thursdays.
Okay,
So we're not gonna do it by motion, we're just
it's
gonna
up to you guys,
have a consensus that we'll come in and sign for the bills.
Yeah,
yes.
Okay.
Okay, that way we don't have a certain amount, I mean, it's like, they may need $600, who knows, or,
we're only three.
yeah, so let's just say we're gonna get in here and sign the bills. Okay.
And we'll,
Don't mean to interrupt.
that's okay. Come on in.
Thank
Yeah, come on in, have a seat. Eric, was there anything
No,
else?
that was it.
Okay. John was next.
This is all personal stuff. I'm a little concerned about the police coverage. Both this Friday and Saturday, I see they were here at 7 o'clock in the morning. By 7 o'clock at night, this Main Street is like a war zone. When I call, oh, there's nobody on duty. You've got this 2-3 dirt bikes running up
Oh,
and down
there's
the
one
road light.
the other night I was.
And they're up, and they go up and down the sidewalk.
Yeah,
And most of us on the street are old people. If we were out on the sidewalk, we'd get run over.
do you think it's coming from between our houses?
Because I went out and looked to see where they went
Yeah.
back to.
I know, I called the police that night, they weren't on.
Yeah, I called.
Yeah,
Yeah.
well, I'll talk to Roger tomorrow. There's not a lot, they are shorthanded, state and sheriffs.
But it seems like
Unfortunately,
it's just a
well-
waste of money to come up here in the day and they're doing absolutely nothing.
I know. Well, I don't think they're doing nothing.
Well,
and
they're
that's
doing
my
nothing, but
personal-
we need them so much more.
Well, and in the
Yeah.
daytime, they can go visit that house too, if I give him the information, okay? Yes, I agree with you, but it's the shorthanded all around every town right now. But yeah, that was driving me nuts, this weekend.
Yeah.
Was it this weekend too?
Oh,
It's been,
it's
yeah,
like,
it's been addressed
as
a couple of
fast and
times.
loud as he can go, up and down and up
And
and
no, I
down.
don't think those things are even registered
No,
or
they're
anything.
They're not allowed to be on the road, dirt bikes.
Well,
They're not allowed
They're
to.
gonna get it taken away if we
Yeah.
have our way.
Yeah.
You might wanna pass that along
I'm going
because,
to.
this is a residential neighborhood. Just
Yeah.
because they moved in,
Exactly.
you
No,
know, it's not
I
gonna
will.
change.
And we actually had state police arrests on Saturday.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know if we had sheriff's coverage scheduled for that day or not.
No,
They were here in the morning on
They were here in
Saturday,
the
I saw
morning.
them at 7 o'clock.
So this was at 6:30 at
I
night,
know
I
there was a
believe.
lot of different groups working on that situation and trying to put it all under control.
yeah, well, it's
And
better
they're
be.
working on it, but they're just.
They're not gonna move from one end to 10 to the other.
Right, no, but we'll take care of it.
Yeah.
We'll figure it out.
Yeah, as long as it was down there, I didn't care. No, that's not, that is not true, camera.
That's not true.
That is not true. Care about it all, because it was very reckless driving too.
Yes, no.
To me, it was very reckless. If there'd been an animal or anything on the street, it would have been. So, yeah, point taken, and I'll talk to the sheriff tomorrow.
Okay, thank you.
Anything else?
No, that's it.
How about your other business? You
Well,
want-
that's actually up to you guys.
Okay, you didn't have any other?
No, because it's town property, you've got to.
Yeah, we'll talk.
start the motion
Well, should
on
we
it.
talk about it now, so, because you're here? This is, Elm Street exit. People that had the fire up on, next to Scott.
Okay,
That hasn't been cleaned up yet.
no, it hasn't.
And, we need to move on that. Now they have on town property, they bought a new house on, what's that extension?
Dunleavy Avenue.
Dunleavy Avenue. I went and looked at it after you told me. They, on our town land, which is between their house and the next house, it goes right up through to it goes like from the old Slayton house down there, the driveway we own.
It's a laid out street.
Yeah.
It's a laid out street. Oh,
Yeah,
for
it's a
another
laid
street
out
to go in?
street.
Okay, that makes sense.
I don't think you could drive from
No,
there
you
to
can't
there because
drive
there's a
to,
hump,
but
right?
it's-
But it's a laid out.
Never been developed, but it's a
Right.
laid out street.
But it's our property. And I went and looked at it the other day and he's written it. They have moved in a camper, installed a fence. A person living in the camper has already tried to trespass into Grand Champs and Bosley's houses. Ken told him it was town land and that he mows it just to keep the ticks away, which is nice of him. He's also sending this to the lister's office. Here's the pictures. We need to tell them. And I don't know actually who tells them.
Well, it's your land, so you need to tell me.
I know, which one of us is gonna
They
tell
get
them to
off.
get their stuff off there. Unfortunately, I guess we can't just go in and move stuff, right? We have to tell them. I don't know, what do we wanna do?
We need to have somebody go.
Yeah,
Send
who's gonna do
Jeremy.
it?
Just
Said
tell 'em
Jeremy.
it's our land.
That's
and
what
I
his
guess
job
we
is,
won't
right?
remove it.
That's Jeremy's job, isn't it?
It is, if they
There you
won't
go.
move it, if they won't move it, and
That's
then,
who that's who the town voted to have
yeah,
do that stuff, so there you go.
do you wanna do that? You wanna have the constable go?
Yes.
Okay,
I'll tell him.
have him, you know, give
His
the
Uncle
pictures.
Jeff lives right in front of him.
So he knows where it is,
Yep, because his Uncle Jeff's already talked to him a couple times.
and they
But
don't listen.
I didn't realize, no.
You didn't know,
Uncle
you didn't know it was
Jeremy-
town land.
I didn't know it was town land.
Well, it is, and it's gonna stay that way, but also we need to deal with the mess up in East Richford.
What's the?
This
what's
is the road up
rule
on my house.
On the predicament on the burn, they have like a year to clean it up or something?
Oh.
They do under zoning, yes.
Yeah, well,
That's what
they
I
haven't
heard,
made
they
any
had a year to
attempt
get it cleaned up.
They do under zoning, yeah.
under our zoning, but I think the state wants it cleaned up. Barry called me and
Nothing's been done up there.
Nothing.
It's not a thing.
nothing,
Not a thing.
and nothing is,
They haven't really been
They aren't
back
there.
since they bought the house and moved in. They've
yeah,
hardly been back to this place. Stevens
Yeah.
Mills.
it's not for sale, huh?
I don't.
Well, my
not that I
understanding
know
was,
of,
my understanding was that the insurance money is there to clean it up,
Oh, I'm assuming.
yeah, so it needs to be cleaned.
What's the 1-year date? Do you know, approximately?
Andy must know when that fire was.
I believe it was in April. I'd have to go back.
The spring
Yeah.
sometime.
So
We
it's
had
over
two
a
fires
year.
right in a row.
No,
No, no, no.
Oh,
This
okay.
past.
State road.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was April or
Okay.
May.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it goes what, 1 or 2 weeks apart between the two fires
Yeah, we
out
had
there?
two fires up there.
Yeah, a week between Aaron's and theirs.
Yeah, that, That's just sitting there smoldering, not smoldering anymore, but a
Just an eyesore.
eyesore, and who knows what's
Yeah.
in there.
If you could find out who they had insurance from and contact the agent, maybe you could get the insurance to clean it
I
up.
wonder how we could find that out.
417.
Yeah, April.
Actually, 416. We had a couple different calls out on that same.
You were very busy that
Yeah.
day, I remember
Thanks.
you were there late. Well, how do we find out the insurance, I wonder?
I don't think you can pursue them if they have a year according to zoning to clean it up,
Yeah.
What if it-
regardless
if
of
it's-
what
I'm
the
not sure
money came
that
in.
our zoning doesn't supersede, our zoning might not supersede state.
The state sent.
Regulations.
If the state is asking for it sooner,
Very-
I would think it would be up to the state to enforce that end of it.
They pushed it on to me.
Did they?
When he called, he said, you have to do something. I'm like, what am I supposed, I've talked to him twice,
Maybe we need to reach out to Barry again and see what our options
what our
are.
options
They
are.
might be
because-
looking at it because of the watershed right there.
Yep, that's what I'm thinking
Well-
too.
Oil barrels
And we
things
should-
like that.
we-
But I have talked to him twice to no
Yeah.
avail. So,
I'm
somebody
gonna
else needs to
contact
talk.
Barry.
Do you want, did you say, do you want to contact?
I'll talk
Sure.
to him.
Do you have his number?
I can find
I
it.
got
It's
him on
over
my
at the,
email, I can,
it's over at the solid waste district.
He doesn't go to the office very often, you gotta call him.
Yeah.
That's okay. They'll pass me along.
and
I'm
I do
sure.
have him on, I have him on.
I probably
Facebook.
have his number at home too. I don't know.
He can tell you what to do.
Yeah.
And, you go talk to him. I've talked to him face to face a couple of times. So we're gonna have Jeremy go and deliver,
Yep.
but we need to deliver something. We need to have a paper that
Do you wanna
says,
write up a
Yeah,
letter?
I'd write up a letter.
yeah, that says, I can do the letter.
Okay.
And, send it on to you. I'll do it tomorrow, that
Okay.
says you're on our property.
Give him a time limit to remove the.
There is no
items.
time limit, get that stuff off.
Okay.
Why would we give them,
No, you just
They
give him a set
probably
date
don't
or.
know.
they don't understand time limits. I don't
Well, the
think.
thing is a lot of people are buying houses right now
Yeah.
at my house. The people that bought the house right behind my driveway, they were told by the real estate agent that like the apple trees and the pine, plum trees and stuff like
Mm-hmm.
that, blueberry, was on their property.
Who's?
There's the ones they sold it to. It's my property, I had it surveyed. So they may have not been told where the property line actually was. It might have been to like those trees over
Well,
there.
you know, that's people's responsibility when they buy a house to know where their property
Well,
line
when
is.
you're talking to a real
Realtor,
estate
yeah.
agent and they're walking it with you, they should know.
No, yeah,
And
my
they should be
back
telling
neighbors
them
think
they're-
they own a piece of my land too, when they
Exactly,
don't.
so I had to walk the neighbors down through all the pins on
Right,
that
right.
side and show them where the
See,
pins
that,
were.
you shouldn't have to do that.
Right,
Yeah.
and the real estate agent was way off, so.
Well,
It might have
they
been
want
the
to sell
same
that
case.
house. yeah.
It might have been the same case, that's why they put up a fence, but did they get a permit for the fence?
No,
No,
No.
so there's another thing that should be added in the letter.
yeah, there's a fence
I'm
there. and
confused.
there's
Are these the same people?
The people that are over on the
On-
extension are the same people that are up in East Richford.
Thank you. Now I
There's some friend
understand.
of theirs that's in that camper, isn't it?
Yeah, and he's
They're
going-
not in the camper.
They're not in the camper, they're in the house.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, 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 and, it needs to, something, both places, I'm sorry, you know, you just let it start and
It
it's
gets
gonna be
worse.
the whole,
Whole time.
yeah.
But yeah, in the letter I would just mention, I'm not sure if you know, kind of thing, but this
Oh,
is,
you want me to
be
be
nice. Be nice, just because my
You're
neighbors
always
didn't
doing
know
that to
either.
me.
Don't have to.
I won't show you the letter, okay. So, all right, so the deal is, we're gonna write him a letter, we're gonna send Jeremy,
Yeah, I'll tell him
and
to come
we're
down
gonna
and pick
call
it up.
Barry about the other, because that, I went by it the other day and I was like,
Well,
whoa.
have Jeremy carry the letter.
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
oh, yeah,
I'm
He'll
sorry.
stop, he'll
I'm
stop in
sorry.
tomorrow and pick it up from her.
I'm
Yeah.
just not
oh,
with
yeah,
the
no,
program.
Jeremy will deliver the letter,
Very good.
because you don't want me to. Apparently.
I'd be happy to have it.
Apparently you don't want me to, so. Anyway, yeah, I know, the older I get, the less sweet I am. Okay, who else do we have? Oh, Ginger,
Oh, I'm just here on behalf of REACT for the letter.
do you wanna speak now then?
No, doesn't matter.
What letter?
I mean,
Yeah.
I know we turned the letter in and basically.
What
REACT-
letter I've been,
The one about the parking on.
oh, yes, I have it here.
Yes, on River Street, Troy Street, and Main Street.
Let me
I
get
think
that.
those were the three. I think we're just interested in having there be something put in about the usage of the parking on those 3 streets to be used for basically businesses,
I will-
not necessarily residential. They
Okay,
seem to
I'll
be
read the
overrun.
letter if you want me to.
Okay.
Okay, to us. As REACT members, we are always attempting to better the state of our community as well as support our local government. To this end, we would like to ask for the following ordinance, separate and apart from the zoning ordinance. Section 4.6, parking of the zoning bylaws, in addition to the residential use of 2 per dwelling unit of off-street parking spaces required. There shall be, this is what they want, this is in bold. There shall be no residential parking at any time on Main Street, River Street, and Troy Street, except for a half an hour for loading, unloading the vehicle. You wanna add any more, Ginger, before I let them discuss it?
No, I think it was just more of thinking about all of the traffic with the big trucks and stuff that go up and down Main Street and River Street, coming down around from Lucille and up through. It was just always seemed to be so tight through those places when there's so many cars on the streets, and also it kind of takes away from parking for business usage. So that's where we're coming from.
Well, if they can only park there for a half an hour, let's say they were eating at the crossing. How
Oh,
does that affect?
they're talking residents.
There's kind of people that
They're
live
talking
on those
residents.
streets, not people that stop for some distance.
Like in front
Well, how
of
do you
this
know the
apartment
difference?
building here.
Okay,
Well,
that's a good
it's-
question.
How do you know that that guy isn't parking there and moving and parking there again, yeah. I
But isn't
know.
it part of the zoning that they're supposed to have off-street parking?
Yes,
Yes,
Any
and their
place around
homes,
town?
yes.
but,
Yeah.
but most of them don't wanna walk.
How do you
Yeah,
count the
surely,
commercial
sorry.
spots on the street?
John,
Because I know it's a square footage requirement for retail, and it's so much for
Meters.
restaurants,
Meters,
That would be cool.
that would go over.
but
like
you're
a-
not enforcing that,
It's true though.
No.
Right.
you know, and on the original permits, they have to show appropriate number of spaces within 600 feet, don't they?
Yes, something like that, yes.
So, assume the businesses have all shown those number of spaces, and I gotta think that a place like Thirsty Burger, which has basically no off-street parking at all, is gonna have to have, what is it,
But they're close enough to 2 municipal parking lots. that-
so they can count both of those,
Yes.
Yeah,
okay?
yeah, they can park there, they can park there.
Are there off-street parking available for the residents on these 3 streets available? In an appropriate number?
Well, on Main Street there is, because there is
I
parking
understand that.
behind them, but I don't think there is there, up on?
Well, they're supposed to have it.
Not above, well, they're grandfathered in because they're
Yeah.
above, the apartments are
Well, if
above.
they're grandfathered in, we can't really.
Right.
Yeah, but there is parking lots around the corner, but I don't know who owns those.
Well, it's a municipal lot behind the old
Yeah.
Mayhews.
Two of them are
And
Mayhews,
the
yeah.
municipal lot down next to the Wheeler
So
building.
there is parking for them then,
Well, those are municipal lots.
right?
If they're supposed to have private off-street parking,
If, well, if they've been,
What are they-
been there and they've been grandfathered in, but, for example, like in the old drugstore building, if someone was to purchase that and to rent those 2 apartments, that person would need to secure off-street parking somewhere for
Okay.
those tenants. If it was to make a, agreement with the town, that they could rent spaces from the town.
Do you remember?
Before they got any permits for those apartments.
when they demolished that house there, and I'm just following on to your comment, when they demolished that house, how is that additional space zoned? Is it a
It's not for
municipal
them though,
lot?
it's ours. They
Yeah,
can't
it
count
is a
that as
municipal
their own.
lot. Okay, then, and where do these people currently park during the parking ban in
Winter?
December and till the spring?
On the street, probably.
They're broke.
I think most of the ones on River Street are in municipal parking lots, down by the
Right.
school and down
Okay.
by the old.
So they
EMP.
can park there,
They do.
yeah. But we could stop them, but
Yeah, you
it's
could,
easier
yeah.
to, remember when Sun Taylor owned the drugstore, he used to park up where the emergency station is now, I remember, because you have to go get the car up there when we wanted it. He didn't
I-
even park on the street.
I don't know, it sounds to me like it's more of a zoning issue than an issue for us.
Well, we'd have the final say probably, wouldn't we, or would you, would the
Well, no,
zoning?
I don't think it's a zoning issue like here, that, you know, every day there's so many cars parked on the street. And these landlords take no responsibility at all.
Right.
you know.
But they're not parked there in the winter, is my point.
Well, they are in the
Well,
daytime.
sometimes they are.
It's an enforcement issue. Joey's been in here numerous times complaining about cars parked on Troy Street. And cars are still
Sidewalks.
On the
parked on Troy
sidewalks,
Street.
yep.
And they're still doing it.
Well,
But we
I mean-
can tow them.
Oh, I know.
well, I,
There's one of them that parks on the sidewalk every day, and he has a driveway and a place to park out back, but he's on the sidewalk every day.
Right in front of the.
is it a notification process, or do we create an ordinance and then we just
I think there are-
enforce
I think there is
it?
an
or-
I think it's enforcement, mainly.
Yeah.
You know, when cars parked on the sidewalk, somebody should stop and say, you know, it's illegal to park on the sidewalk, you have a space out back, maybe you ought to use
We'd
it.
have to have 24-hour coverage to enforce that.
It's
And-
been, what, 3 years you've been complaining about it,
Yeah, they're
probably?
there during the day, even when we do have a day officer during the summer and stuff. And at night, they're there all the time, they're always parked there.
Well, of course, we have to have somebody to tow it too. That's the other issue.
Yeah, we have
We
to
always
tow
run
it.
into the tow issue that you go out and yell at the tow guy, he won't tow anymore, so. It's, right? I mean, somebody go out and yell at him, oh, no, I'm coming here again.
Yeah.
And so,
And is someone gonna go around the town and chalk tires of residences for a half
we
an
wanna
hour?
pay for it.
Exactly.
Have the same issues year after year after year.
It just doesn't seem as, when we come down to it, as important as coverage at night for stuff that happens, you know, that's the problem.
I don't think it's an enforceable ordinance, personally, and that's just me. I'm not,
Unless you had a full-time cop walking the beat every day. That's the only way it'd ever be enforceable.
I don't, does REAC have any idea how we might enforce it?
Bring a solution.
Yeah, right. I can come back to you on that.
Okay.
And we can have more conversation around it and see if we can kind of put our heads together.
Why don't we
around it as
have
well,
an
'cause I-
ongoing,
Yeah.
not ongoing
Oh.
forever, but let's
Yeah.
talk about it, at least, we'll talk about it, you talk about it. We'll find out from Sheriff how, I mean, seriously, they're hurting for coverage everywhere. I don't know why nobody wants to work. I just can't figure
It's
that out. It's
not just
everywhere.
them,
There's,
it's
everything
It's
is,
every business.
there's of,
It's gonna get worse.
well, maybe the unemployment stops, it'll get
Yeah, some
better.
of the money's going away today.
Yeah, I know, but I'm not looking for work.
No, but, I mean, it's.
You know, it's.
Let's say we'll continue and we'll look, let me
When's the
look
next
more
REAC
into
meeting?
it. Let me talk.
Thursday night.
This Thursday?
Yeah, why don't you come to our next meeting and I'll, in the meantime, I've talked to sheriff and maybe even if we did a few, got started on a few, cause we can give them tickets, we have tickets.
We ran into a wall with that last time,
Yes, we
remember?
did.
Well, I think a couple that are the problem have probably never ever been notified and saying they shouldn't even be parking on the sidewalk.
True, maybe we could put warnings on the,
I think maybe if the sheriff just stopped and explained it,
Yeah.
that
we could ask
They
them,
may
the
stop.
daytime people to do that, maybe,
Yeah.
that are on in the daytime.
Just kind of go around.
I'll
It's
talk
the
to
ones
her.
right up here on Main Street, don't they have the parking down behind?
They
Yeah.
do.
they,
Yeah.
yeah, they can.
Okay.
It's inconvenient.
They gotta walk uphill.
Yeah, they gotta walk uphill.
They got a nice set of stairs.
And they don't plow it in the
Didn't
winter.
they redo all the
That's the
stairs
problem.
down behind
Yeah,
there, so
yeah.
they had.
Oh,
nice
they did.
things to-
They got brand new stairs, brand new walkways, everything.
Plus they can drive down there.
That's what I'm saying, yeah.
You got a car, you can drive down there.
You pull up.
Otherwise, you don't need to go down there. Okay, let's work on it together.
Okay.
Okay, thank you.
No.
Anybody else in the audience wanna say, okay. Where are we? Okay, police, well, that was kind of, that was me basically, telling you that I talked to Roger and right now there's a shortage. I mean, he's got some people in training, so we're gonna stick with it. Okay, supervisor union lease. I guess I've exhausted all of my arguments. And the lawyer said it would be very expensive, so here you go, folks. Here's the lease. You, or 4 people on this board voted to do it, so, it's time to sign it.
The original lease.
This is the addendum. This is the one that goes from, it says this blank day of June, it's gonna now say September. Between the town of Richford, da-da-da-da. It goes from these, renewed for an additional 12-month period, July 1st through June 30th, 2022. The rental is $2,057 per month. In June, it stops. Now, this is the part I asked him to change. If lessor is able, remember, we voted if they, to secure a new lessee for the space covered by this, they agree to return up to 30% of the space. I want it to say, not 30%, but that downstairs
I
portion.
don't know that it does say 30%.
That's what it says.
Look back to the minutes,
I did.
and it
I
says
think-
30%
I
in the
think that
minutes.
was our conversation. I don't know if it was in the original, but that was on a
But it,
conversation.
but in the, we talked about it, but in the minutes, I think it
Okay, I'll
just
go
said,
back.
gave us the opportunity
Well, I'd
to.
like it to be specific, otherwise give us the bathroom upstairs, you know?
Yeah, sure.
So we won't sign it tonight then, you're saying? We'll look that up? I abstained, so I'm not signing it, but I will do whatever work you wanna do on it.
Is there a clause in that existing lease that they owe us back rent right now?
No,
And is
they
there?
paid. They paid.
Oh, they
Pay?
have,
They paid for 3 months.
okay.
When I told her not to cash. But now that I've talked to the lawyer,
Cash it.
cash it because I said, once we cash it, that means we accept that
Right.
amount. But she said it's gonna cost us to do it.
Too much to chase
But
it.
just let's keep this in mind. This ends June 2022.
Right,
Yeah.
We don't have to,
we're not gonna extend
okay,
it again.
well, we don't know what we're gonna do.
Well, I gotta say, in
But
good
I'm
faith,
saying, this is
you
just
know.
for 1
But
year.
it'll be a new lease.
Well, we tried
No.
that this time and they said we couldn't raise it. Well, then we will,
We could only raise it 3%, and is that what we
Yeah.
did?
I've only got the addendum, I don't know. I'm
That came
assuming,
from the attorney?
no, this came from Morgan.
Really?
They've always from day one wrote their own lease
Yeah,
up
and
there.
we need to write the leases.
Yeah, from now on.
And from now on.
Yeah,
Will
from
be
now
another-
on.
But I sent this to the lawyer
Okay,
to make sure. So we will
But it
wait and make
shows-
sure that 30% says downstairs.
okay,
Okay? Is that good with everybody?
sure.
Okay. All right, what else have I got? Playground building, oh my. The building at the playground.
Falling down?
Did you go down there? Can you tell them?
The floor is sinking.
That's the corner.
I think when they built that building back, I don't know if the old one burned and they just put gravel in it and
Could
smoothed
be.
it up or what, but the building got built back and apparently the compaction was bad or something, so the slab was poured on top of either footings or a wall, I don't know which, but now the inner part of the building is settled and the outer part of the slab is still held up by the footing of the wall, but the middle is all dropped, like probably 1.5 or 2 inches. And there is a company that can go in and drill holes in it and foam it and spray it and raise it back up, but there's one section then that Nick Dusso or
Nick went down.
the water
yeah.
guys or whatever cut out because they had to fix the plumbing
Yeah.
because it crushed the plumbing when it
Yeah.
settled. But I guess that's the option we're going to go
Yeah.
with is try to.
Well,
foam it
the
and
estimate's
push it
about
back up.
$6,000. I'm trying to get insurance. I know we won't get it, but I'm giving it a stab anyway. Kylie's talked to the insurance company,
I
but
think it'd probably be the same price
Same
either
thing.
way.
Oh, yeah.
If Jackhammered it all out and redid the concrete,
Yeah.
you're gonna have
That's
that
what
or.
happened at the store.
Yeah.
They came in and pulled.
So I
same
have
thing
to-
with the sinkhole.
pretty much have to have it fixed. We can't let it go. So
No.
I've signed the thing for them to,
I think it's probably settled basically as much as it's gonna settle, cause that
Right.
building's been there for what, 15 years, 20 years?
least, I don't know, probably
So there's
20.
two options or just one option?
There's really
Well, there
only
is
one.
2 options, jackhammer it out, I
Yeah.
would say, and reconcrete it, or we've
Yeah.
already got a price from that.
But it was 6 or 8,000. I don't quite
Blow it out.
remember how much, but I must have it in my, if I don't, we've gotta do it anyway. I mean, I am trying to get
We didn't get a
insurance.
price from anybody jackhammering it out, or
That's
we
what
just,
they did.
we just thought maybe we could do it in-house if we were to go that
Yeah.
route, but.
Is there any other structural damage in terms of?
There is a center wall in it, and some of the brick in the center wall have actually buckled in the side. There's some, I don't know
Fix that at the same
when they
time.
foam it, if it'll all pick that or not. I've
No,
never
fix
seen
that.
this stuff
Well, it
work.
probably needs to be tuck pointed anyway.
Yeah, it
Yeah.
needs to be
You know.
pointed up again, it will be, yeah.
I mean, we have to fix it and the camp uses it every year and, it's,
But I think with that open piece of concrete that we dug out and redid the plumbing in, I think he wants that poured back in so he has no escape route for that foam, so it
Yeah.
does its job. He's never tried to do it without
Right.
having an opening,
I mean,
left
it-
opening, or else it's all
And
gonna
it's,
wanna go
there's
It
there.
has
no
to
weight
be done.
issues or anything in terms of, you know, is it rated at a certain weight to be
No,
able
I
to?
see, I didn't talk to the
level
guy
it or-
I think
personally,
it's
but
the underpinning, like you said, it's the
I
underpinning.
think Nick Dusso showed him the job,
Well, yeah.
and Nick explained to me that he didn't think it was a big issue to lift it. but
I've
Okay.
seen it work, it does an amazing job.
Yeah, and I think that one of the problems that it came so fast was because, remember 2 years ago when that flooded down there, it was underwater, and then nobody used it for that whole year, they didn't have camp. So it's been a year without any use or without any, so that probably contributed to the whole atmosphere. Yeah.
All the plumbing's been repaired though.
As
Nick-
far as I
Nick
know,
repaired
yeah.
the plumbing, yeah. Yeah, he's been good about getting right down there. So
Well, do
anyway,
you
I'm
need a
just letting you
motion to-
know.
Do you need a motion to move
I don't
forward
know,
on?
I'm in charge of that
injecting
budget, I'm
foam?
gonna fix it, so.
Good job.
You can if you want. It's gotta be fixed. I mean, I don't know, do we
Fix it.
usually do that?
I don't know,
Over a
Ken,
certain
go ahead,
price.
Ken.
Did we vote on that? Over a
I think
certain
it's 6
price?
or 8,000, I didn't bring it with me,
Yeah.
Kylie's
The,
got it. But I'm sure I
procurement
have the
policy,
money.
I don't have with me. Do you have it with you?
I agree.
The procurement policy, no?
Oh, probably somewhere. You really want me to
No,
dig?
that's okay. I mean, I'll make a
It's my
motion to
budget.
approve it.
It's
Yeah.
my
I just-
budget, I'm gonna fix it,
What's that?
right?
I'll
I mean,
second. Yeah.
Okay, that's
Okay.
fine, go ahead.
all those in favor? Aye.
Aye.
I mean, can't let our buildings fall down,
No.
No, I agree.
either way.
Well, it's authorizing the expenditure
Oh, yeah,
necessary
that's
if
fine.
it's
When you,
part of the.
see, my
Over a certain
opinion
amount.
is when you sign the bills, you're authorizing it, but it's fine, that's good.
Well, no, we have a procurement
I
policy
know
though.
we
that-
do, Tim.
I'm just saying, I'm trying to keep things in line, that's all.
Okay, well, I'm sorry, I'm getting out of line. All right. Eviction. Well, certified mail. We have sent, finally, after a year and a half, we've sent the eviction notice to the occupants of 50 Fire Street. And they have until October 1st to get out, or a lawsuit will be commenced against you for possession of the premises and damages. Your tenancy is being terminated for no cause. And then, as I said, termination effective October 1st. So if you and all the other occupants of the premises do not vacate on or before October 1st, the town of Richford has authorized this office to utilize the full extent of the law to obtain possession of the premises and to recover monetary damages for all rent owed. Any damage caused to the premises and reasonable attorney fees. So, please note that you remain liable for all charges up to the time you actually vacate the premises. In addition, your landlord has requested that all communications in this matter be directed to this law office, not to your landlord. Direct all communications and questions, and they tell you Monahan, Safer, Duchamp. So, October 1st, they're supposed to be out. See what happens. At least we finally have the legal.
Yep.
We haven't been able to do it for a year and a half, so let's see what happens, and then we'll take it from there. There's that. Eviction. React parking, we've talked about that. We have another application for Lister, so I think we need to set up some interviews, because I think we have 2 to 3 applications, I'm not sure, because Kylie has them. So we'll do that soon, especially since they're in the midst now, or getting started on the, what do you call it, assessment?
Reappraisal.
Appraisal,
Reappraisal.
yeah, the appraisal. Okay, highways.
No more applications on highway employee?
I haven't seen any. You want me to run the ad again? Maybe now that unemployment's stopping, maybe you want me to run it again?
Wouldn't hurt.
Okay.
I don't have a CDL, I'll go to work for you.
You will?
Are you looking for someone with a CDL?
Yeah. Run
If I
ad.
get down like I keep threatening.
Keep threatening to do, you gotta stay bad.
I'm thinking the 1st of October.
Oh,
It's coming quick.
I'm quick, I know, I can't believe how fast. So, another ad for CDL driver. Where can we put it besides, the Courier's local,
Need to get it on the internet somewhere, wherever people look for jobs on the internet.
Okay.
I'm not up to that.
I'm not either, but
I've heard
Indeed.
Indeed,
I
yeah.
was trying to think.
That's what I
But
keep
you pay
hearing,
by the
Indeed.
click for Indeed advertising.
Yeah,
Anybody that clicks on the job, you pay for it.
Yeah, but how much?
I don't know the details, you can
I don't wanna
ask
take
them
that
about it.
chance.
You can ask them
well, yeah,
about
you
it,
pay for it, put it in the paper, why not pay for it, put it on the internet?
Yeah.
Because
Get
somebody
better
will just sit
results.
there all the,
Well, I don't know how that works.
but, no, it's every click that you
Just
get
like
on the ad, it's,
What's that? oh yeah, I go through them anyway, I talk
I'm
to
gonna
them.
say, put it with them too.
Yeah, I will. I'll send it out again this week and see if we can,
Consolidated Communications has come to me and come to the town. They wanna, above the Bridgman Road on the South Richford Road, they wanna start digging somewhere along by Chaz Shepherd's house, somewhere right there. And they wanna run a fiber optic cable underground over through to the Coy Road. Presently, we don't have a policy on underground utilities running along the road or with the right of way of the road. We have a crossing permit, like if somebody wanted to put a utility across the road, but we don't have any policy in place that I know of or I'm aware of on running this cable along our road or in our right of way, and that's what they wanna do.
so what do we do?
I don't really have any objection of them doing it, I just want them to follow a policy of some of these other towns that have already got one in place. We gotta get one in place, I would assume is something we should do.
Looks like they've already started.
Well, they've been up there painting and.
No, they're digging today and they're laying
Yeah, I
conduit.
told them to go ahead.
Do we get any money out of this?
No. I told them to go ahead because the paving is scheduled to be there.
Yeah.
Paver's gonna be here tomorrow. I told that guy, I said, you do all you can do before we get that
Yeah.
road paved. 'cause-
I'm gonna dig it up
Yeah.
again.
Well, we're not digging, he's not digging up the road, he's digging
Okay,
along the
he's
edge
doing
of the
outside.
road and supposedly going down around the end of the culverts, and he explained how he normally does it in other towns, and
Well, it's,
I kinda agreed with him, and I told him to push along because,
well, the problem is if we went to warn it now, you gotta wait 30 days and 30 more days to, I mean, so,
well, it's something that should be done, it's
It should be
progress,
done,
it's
okay.
progress, you know, it's.
But you
a
gave
fiber
him
optic
permission.
cable to connect.
yeah.
What they're saying is it's gonna make a circle to connect Montgomery and Richford,
Uh-huh.
other than going like 118 or whatever, it's connecting it together in South Richford.
Mm-hmm.
So if there is a problem, they can shut things around, I guess, I don't know, it's way over my head,
But
it's
you gave
something
him
that's been
permission.
in the plans, but I've never heard a thing about it till, a
I
week
hadn't
ago,
till
I
you,
guess.
yeah, till you just mentioned
Well,
it.
yeah, I think it's good, it's progress.
It's progress,
But
yeah,
it's a
we just have to
policy
be
that
careful.
we do have to, I
Okay.
had Kylie reach out to Montgomery and Enosburg to see if they had a policy, and neither one of them did. Montgomery's got quite a lot of underground buried telephone wire, which I thought they would have a policy, but they.
Yeah. So
apparently
nobody's
they
got
don't.
one.
Well, not right close here, I guess.
Do they go through people's land? Like, no,
they're
it's all
Trying to stay within
the confines of the
highway.
towns.
The reason is the power right of way goes cross country up through the woods and
Right.
places there, and they wanna keep it
Away
on the
from
road for maintenance and for
Yeah,
people should happen to build, they're gonna, you try to build closer to the road than
Right.
they would.
well, it should improve things. I mean, Montgomery has a terrible reputation with Consolidated. I'm-
don't talk about Montgomery. I don't wanna get phone calls.
No, it's the Consolidated cable people.
I know, but I don't wanna
Yeah.
get phone calls from Montgomery. Why are you talking about us having problems? You don't get the
Individuals
phone
do.
calls I get.
Pike is supposed to be
Let's leave
moving
other
in.
towns out of
Pike
it.
is supposed to be moving in tomorrow, starting tomorrow to pave this week. I think they're moving in down by Tim's on River Street or maybe south in Union, but they're gonna try to do some of the village stuff before they go there, so we can have another day or two to work to jump start on it.
How weather dependent is it?
It's weather dependent, paving
Yeah.
is.
Yeah.
His piping isn't really weather dependent,
Okay,
paving is.
yeah.
Did you guys clean up the Eagle?
Yeah,
Well, thank
the
you.
mound.
The mountain, yeah, well, some church group had called me and they were gonna do it in a couple weeks. And then I saw it was done and I was like,
Well,
oh.
I thought that was part of Donald and Judy's thing to
No,
keep that
no,
weeded and done,
no,
no?
no,
Oh, I
because it
thought
wasn't there when we signed that contract.
Did you ever mention it to him about between you and Paul Healy?
Yeah, it's not in their contract either. Yeah, I
No?
did. I mentioned it the day after we talked.
I see it still wasn't mowed.
Apparently that wasn't part of the contract, so maybe if we sign with them or somebody else, we should add it next time, cause
Yes.
it goes right straight through. But no, the Eagle wasn't there when we signed that contract. I probably should get more mulch for it, right, to keep the stuff
Well,
down.
Steven went down and he tried pulling a bunch of the weeds. Some of them he couldn't pull, he had to cut off or
Yeah,
whatever.
well, it looked a lot better, but this church group called me and now I'm like, wow, they were so nice, can we come do it? And I said, sure. Then somebody said, it's already been done. Well, thank you. Anyway, it looks a lot nicer because it was getting overgrown. Any more on highways, Scott?
Not really, I didn't think of.
Okay,
nothing
buildings?
Too major.
Not much going on with the roof right now. Everything's still waiting to come in. If it's not here by October 1st, it's gonna be put on hold till spring. He's gonna then go up and just make sure everything is sealed down to get through the winter, to get
Okay,
to spring.
good.
So,
Having
Yeah.
trouble with material? or-
Yeah.
Yeah.
the rubber, some of the rubber came in, wrong rubber, wrong size.
Don't they say it's more expensive now, everything?
Everything is too, so it'll be even better though if it came in a little bit later.
Oh, you know, we need
We're
to,
having trouble getting culverts. I've had culverts ordered for a
really.
month and a
Yeah.
half, 2 months.
Was everything coming from somewhere else or are they
Yeah,
just doing this
the
to raise the
insulation.
prices?
It's
Also, the
everywhere, it's not
insulation.
just,
Most
yeah.
installation's 3 inches and
Everything.
ours is 5 and.
Just the
Yeah.
trickle effect from COVID.
Oh,
I think
yeah.
when some of
And
the
people not
factories were
working.
shut down and now their inventory's gone and they
Yeah.
haven't made it back.
I
or-
know.
That's exactly, yeah, so.
Well, you know, we have this big money that we need to sit down and talk about, some of this money
Yeah.
that's come from the COVID, to pay, a lot of stuff is not included, but if it is, we need to, I don't know if a roof is, I mean, we need to really sit down and talk about that, cause don't we have a couple $100,000 right now that I heard about, that we've got, yeah. So-
240.
How much, 240?
240
Yeah, I mean,
right
I
now.
don't know what the restrictions are on that, but,
I know, she sent us all that link too. I gotta read it. I
But
gotta
you
go
know,
down through, I listened to some of it, but it's very lengthy.
it's long to listen to, and we have people working on it, but I don't see that it's going as fast as,
Right.
I like things to go fast.
Well, it takes quite a lot of thought, put
I
it in the
know.
right
Oh.
place.
I do have one quote on
I
the
know.
furnace for the town garage,
Mhm.
from John. I'm waiting for another quote to come in.
We need a
And
new
then I just
furnace
talked to a third one, Fred's, so, one's John's, one's Fred's, and then I'm gonna have to get hold of Lewin's to have them come and do one.
So this is up here?
Yeah, when they were there servicing it last year, he mentioned that wouldn't
Yeah.
be too long before we were
Who
on,
serviced it though?
Blue Ones.
Yes. So,
Yeah.
we're
They
gonna
said
have
that
all
too.
3 of them. And you need them for both garages, right?
That's what he
Yeah.
was saying.
Yeah.
I don't know. I know they're both old. I don't know how good a shape they are. I'm not a furnace guy.
Not for this guy. So, I did ask, Nick, but he doesn't do those type of furnaces. So,
Right.
but the other 3 were supposed to be going, I told him it wasn't a rush because we have to have the money up front first, kind of thing, I think.
You still
Do you need
burning
it for
wood
this
there
winter?
too?
What's that?
Do you need them this winter? Or do you think if
I
we
don't
get them?
They're not
I
broken
don't think
yet.
I know.
They're
They're
not
not
broken.
I haven't heard
How
they're
about break in
broken, so-
December?
Yeah,
I
that's
think
right.
he was just thinking the combustion chamber was getting rusted or whatever.
So-
Probably would be leaking somewhere
But
down
if
the
we get
line.
quotes, it'll be on top of it, we can vote one in.
We got a new one last year. I bet the garage will be a bigger one than I've got in my house.
Yeah. this is good.
Ours is just a little ceiling hung thing.
Like
It's
we
not
had,
a-
it- like
it's
we
not-
had at the garage.
Mine was
Our
8.
store.
Nothing too fancy. I can't imagine it. No ductwork involved at
Really?
all.
Maybe it won't be as much.
So,
Anyway, so
and I
that's-
have Nick working on some Kylie's bathroom, and then also we have a leak upstairs in one of the radiators he's supposed to be
We
fixing.
always have a leak in the radiator. I
And
know.
D&D is looking at replacing the lights in her office, cause they're very old and they're fluorescent, so he's thinking he can use the antique, setup, but put the new balusters in
New
them.
ballast.
So, that's what
When-
we're shooting for, so
We
that's
need
where
to
I'm
keep
at.
up on this stuff.
Yeah,
because-
we do.
When they come, the light is out at the flagpole in Davis Park.
Davis Park.
And it has been, we're shining the
Oh.
light from the gazebo over, which
Right.
technically keeps the flag lit at night, but the light that's on the pole hasn't worked for a year.
Yeah.
And they put a new junction box in there. You know, they put a new box in earlier this year, and it was just an oversight, I guess.
We haven't had as much negative activity in Davis Park this summer, have we? Or we have?
We are now. It's
Why now?
very bad right now.
what's happening, like weekends?
Well, the gazebo's all broken up.
I know
There's
this.
a lot of drug deals in the parking lot and in the gazebo. There's a lot of, I mean, if you go over there today, there was, I don't know, 15 kids in there last night, late, loud music. There's, not that I'm an old guy that I don't like loud music, but
No, when you're sleeping.
maybe the choice of artists. I mean, if I was open for business right now, I'd be hounding you about it. And they can't even walk over to the trash receptacles.
No, I know,
They just
I know.
throw all the
I know.
bottles and cans and everything else. And
Lack of respect.
and they
Lack of police,
still.
too. We don't have anybody around.
I understand,
There's
and they're
nobody-
still, and I'm not gonna approach them,
No,
you know,
I know.
because they know where I live, and I don't need further damage at my home. So, but it's getting really bad again.
Is it?
And they
I
just
thought when school started it might.
just for the sake of, you know, they don't turn over the portable toilet, and I know it'll go away soon, but they'll go in and they'll rip out the soap dispensers and just
Well,
throw
then
them
they
out
won't
in the
bring us any
field.
more toilets if they do that.
Well, that's what they're
I'm-
doing. I'm just the messenger. It's not going real well. And they, on the playground equipment, they wrap the swings so that they
Yeah,
sit
the
like,
kids
you
can't
know,
use
2
them.
feet from the top railing,
Yeah.
things like
We
that.
can't get a camera down there.
There's no direct,
Is there another
and
place
we're
we can
good,
put another Wi-Fi?
you know, you got a camera.
If I can Wi-Fi my deer camera from camp to my house,
Well, that's a different kind of camera though,
right,
right? I
but can
mean,
we get something, a
I
little
can
better
check
set
if we
up?
wanna pay for,
Well, we got
more.
this COVID money and that's safety,
well, yeah, that is.
We have some,
that's safety and keeping people safe, come on.
I've tried over the years though to have Davis Park and there's always a reason why there's too much in between the sending tower.
Then put it up in the attic here, that you can see over there from here.
Well, it's not
Some
that
kind
easy.
of
If there's a
road,
tree
yeah.
in the way or
Huh?
How
anything.
about the old fire station, that must have a line of sight all the back to it.
I don't
Not
know,
really.
I've had people up here from the company, believe me, I've tried, it's been 12 years.
I wonder if they can put a post on the corner of the island there with like a repeater on it, just like you do for cell phone and
But you've
stuff.
gotta have something that they can't get at and,
No, this would be out on Davis Island.
But-
I mean, and by the way, I don't know what there's 3 empty posts, like signposts that are 12 feet tall in
that's
Davis
not
Park
tall
right
enough.
now. No, but what I'm saying is I have no idea what they're for.
well, I haven't been out and about for the month, so I'll go down and take a
Yeah, no,
look and see what it
there's
is.
one by the front entrance and there's 2 down along with Birmingham going down to the river.
But isn't that for the guy that's putting him up along the river?
I was just gonna say,
I don't know if it's
the
Dan
historical
Seeley's or
Dan
whatever,
Seeley
yeah.
things,
I
I
don't
bet,
know.
I would bet.
But,
Dan Seeley's put up new signposts. I don't know if it's
Yeah.
something new.
yeah, they're new.
Yeah,
Well,
that's
and the
something
thing
Dan's doing.
too is that cameras are not cheap. It's
No, I
the whole
understand that, but,
system. I mean, you know, I've spent $8,000 just recently on upgrading these things a couple years ago. I'll look into it, but I've looked into it before and they tell
Right,
me,
but they make big strides every year and stuff like that.
yeah, I'll ask
so-
again because the
Yeah,
thing
no.
about Davis Park is that it's only summer. The rest of the year, nobody's in there and, you know, so to spend,
right.
the rest of it does the streets, which we want.
No, I understand that, and I'm not saying that it's necessarily a camera issue.
Right.
There's some local residents there,
Yeah,
I
I
won't
know.
use names, that are familiar with school kids. And they have a lot of, they recognize people that are doing things.
Okay.
And I can talk to you afterwards about it, but it's not, I don't know any of these kids, I don't have kids in school and
I
I
have
don't go
been
to the
out,
school.
I haven't been paying attention to Davis Park for a month or two, and so I'll get on it and I'll talk to Roger and see what.
And we still need to get it's a hazard in the gazebo now. There's no railings at all on the backside and there's no, you know, we talked about, can these kids in those LEAPS programs do that kind of work?
No, they
And
can't, because they're not covered.
Okay,
Could you
then-
take a look at the gazebo, see if it's something maybe, to
We're
avoid
gonna have to hire a carpenter or something to
See
fix the
what-
railing.
yeah, just see if it's
railing's
something
been
that
torn right off.
can
If
be
you-
done.
On the backside and the bottom step is about this high off the ground. You know, there's nothing, if there was something under it. And they've broken out a few of the panels, you know, on the sides. It's just,
I know.
We need to find something for them to do.
Yeah,
You know,
let's
get
do
them
that.
get them a youth center, get them a,
Okay, yeah, that'll work.
well, I don't know, you know. Sell them drugs in the other end of town, I don't care.
Yeah, but
Oh,
my,
they do, let me tell you.
okay, let's get back on topic, okay?
Okay.
Buildings, here, you're all done?
Yes.
Water and sewer, Andy.
I have nothing to report this time around.
Okay, ambulance, let's talk about the ambulance.
Okay.
Did you wanna start with it?
Is this contractual stuff you mentioned at the
I-
beginning
We're
of
not
the?
gonna talk about any personal ambulance stuff at all.
This is basically financing.
Yeah,
Okay.
For approval for financing for the ambulance, we signed to,
we signed the, intent.
intent of purchase, I guess.
Explain to us what's happening. Is this a 5-year plan? Tell us what it is.
5-year plan, first payment up front, which would leave us 4 years left, or was it a 4 year?
I think she just,
3 years different, so it was a 4-year with the first payment up front and 3 years after that.
Or 4 years out.
So we would be.
4 years after that.
I think it's
She
5
said-
years.
There was no 7-year one, she had one company for that. Let's
It
have
was
this
it's
down
Kansas
here.
State,
There.
which we
I
go
think that was your
through
copy.
I guess we do the same with the town trucks, the same company
Yes.
does the town trucks,
Could be.
is what Kylie told us, so.
Yeah, could very well be.
We've had good luck with them.
Yeah.
I think a lot of these banks just specialize in municipal loans, I
Yeah.
think, yeah.
That's
Yeah.
what she said.
Robert had contacted me last week, you were at.
Are we going through Robert?
Yes.
The financing
No,
is separate.
finance is
He's
separate.
the guy we buy it from.
Yes.
He's the guy we're buying it
If you wanna
from.
take a look at it, you're more than welcome to.
And,
This one's the other one.
yes,
Is it option one that you're saying? 162,000,
Yes, and we have,
trade-in of 5,
yeah,
rebate of 59, so it's down to 151.
see, I thought these numbers are the ones she was talking about, but it doesn't have the trade-in on it.
Gee, the interest rate is
Sorry.
2.8.
yeah, it doesn't have a trade-in on it.
Right, that
We'll
one
have to
doesn't.
ask her
But this
about
one
that.
does.
Right.
They always give us
But
trade-in.
the other one, I think, is the one we were going with, because it was down to the 151.
And
I think it was the first,
I thought that trade-in got recalculated, I thought it was less than that.
it's,
No, it's more than that, it was
It's
eight
more.
it's more
thousand.
than that, she's got
Yeah,
it.
that went up.
Yeah,
She's been talking with Robert, and I
Yeah.
don't know if if the trade-in was calculated in with the first payment.
Do we have
That's
this
what I'm
first
wondering.
payment? Do we have it right now?
Is the first payment
We can come up with
deferred,
it.
or what's-
we don't have it in ambulance, but I have it in buildings, so.
Can we switch it though? Can we do that?
We asked her,
Yeah.
and she said basically the only thing we can't take it
Is
from
highway.
is
It's highway. So, and I do have the extra for the roof, but we still not till next year, so that can be in the budget then.
Okay. And
I haven't done a lot of work on this
I
building
wish we
on
could get some
outside.
COVID money for,
If we could, that'd be great. because then I can
she's
start
still-
doing work here.
And she's still applying for grants, I guess, for this way I understood
Yes,
it, because
just looking.
she needed the other quote that I had gotten, and we
Right.
got that for her.
Yeah.
I can't believe some COVID money wouldn't cover.
I would think something.
That to me would be like,
Yeah,
duh.
yeah. So,
I think it is, but I do think it's a good idea that we start planning every year
Oh,
to
yeah.
every 5 years trade out to have a new one. On the same lines as like you guys do, you gotta be able to rely on your vehicles.
We don't really have it planned out, but we sure get them a lot sooner now than we ever did years ago.
Yeah.
Well, you
No,
have
that's
that,
good, that's
you
good.
have that
Well, I say that,
replacement
but the
plan.
truck we just replaced is 20 years old. so-
Exactly,
Right.
so, took a while to
And
get
it runs
here.
and plows every day.
yeah.
But,
Took you a while to get to this point.
if you think, I mean, I know we'll have the money.
If there's a way we could find out if it could come from COVID, that would be great.
Well, I think they need to work on that. I'm looking at these people that are doing the grants, and this is, you know, but we have the money for this year anyway to do it, I'm sure.
Yep.
Yeah, so what do you
So it's
propose?
all, it's legal if we didn't budget,
Yeah.
yeah. We didn't budget money for
Yeah,
that.
I got
ambulance.
that too.
Right,
We can pull money,
Yeah.
say from the roof on
Yes.
the building
Yeah.
if we
Yeah.
don't do the roof this
Got a
year.
letter.
Yeah.
She
Yeah.
contacted and got the legal,
Yeah.
and they say, yes, we can.
yeah, Yeah, I think that pretty much the law or the rule is if we need something, we can, and then it always used to be a line at the bottom of the warning that said, and to transact any business we think is necessary, and this
It's
is
still an
necessary.
article on
Well,
there.
it's
Is
a
it still
It's
there?
still on there.
Yeah, it's a
And,
safety thing.
I mean, that's why
Gets
they
approved
elect us to
every
make
year.
these decisions, and if we screw up, but our ambulance, as we've been told, and we can see, is doing
Well,
well
It's paying for itself right now.
yes.
right now, and, you know,
Two of them are on the road.
I understand that.
So it's
That's
good.
very, it's great. I just,
I mean, I hate seeing the ambulance go all the time, but we certainly,
Every
Right.
time the ambulance goes out, it's something, there's a return on it.
Right.
Unless we don't transport. But
right.
Right, but we're also transporting our own people back from St. Albans back to here.
Well, and
We're
as
also taking
I,
them to Burlington too, so we're not. we
I
weren't
said
doing
last
that.
week, if people understood, and I wanted to announce that, and I did it last week myself. We're not talking personal, but I'm just saying, went to St. Albans, and then later when I had to go to Burlington, I had somehow in my head the wherewithal to say, I want the Richford ambulance, because I thought you were still there.
Nope.
And they'd come home, and that was 2 calls, so.
Even if we were still there, it's 2 calls.
Even if you were still, yeah, either way. That's 2 calls for Richford, that's more, you know.
Yeah.
Now, if they hadn't been available, fine, you can take somebody else, but if you ask, if people would say, hey, can I have Richford take me? We get people to do that. Of course, a lot of times when they take you to Burlington, you don't know what you're talking about, but that was a good one.
a lot of, other things is like the nursing home we have here in town. We get called out. There's no way for these people to get back unless there's some sort of service to bring them back. We had a call last week where we transported a person, and 3 hours later, we're going down to pick this person back up to transport them back to the nursing
So
facility.
you can do that?
Oh, we do
I
that
thought
all the
you
time.
couldn't do
Yeah,
that.
no, we
It
do
is.
that.
Medically
Okay.
necessary.
It
Yeah.
has to be.
Oh, if
medically
it's somebody that
It has to fit a
has a
certain
right,
criteria, but
Okay.
for the most part, in,
like a nursing home would be
Yes.
Not
criteria.
always.
not always, but
But-
Even
majority
people
of the
who live
time.
at home and they're under care, they can still have us bring them back home too. It just has to be medically
We
needed.
need to make that
The
known.
doctor signs a form and it justifies the transfer.
Okay,
We have written an email letter to Northwest
Yep.
informing them of this, and we were able to do this, and they are calling
they're
us.
calling you,
They're calling
that's
us.
great, because,
It's extra
Yeah.
money coming
And
in.
to remind them, using we
And
get
it's taking care of
somebody
our
to
own
call us
people.
if they need to go somewhere.
Yeah.
good. Hey, I'm all for this. Do we have to vote on it, or we voted already before? I
We
can't
just do
remember.
the intent, I think we
Yeah.
have to move
We
forward.
need to
with
make a
motion
motion.
for the,
Okay, go for it.
Can we make the motion or does somebody else have to, because we go?
You guys are fine, yeah, one of you.
Okay, I'll make a motion to go ahead and purchase the vehicle.
Say which one, so he has it in the, is it this one, option
Yes,
one?
option one.
You have this, Tim? Okay,
I don't have that, no.
you want it, so you can put it
Sure.
in minutes? Okay, I'll second it. We probably should put the price in,
Is it 51?
the bottom line price,
151,808.
on a 5-year,
lease agreement.
Yep.
lease agreement. You got it? And I'll second it. All those in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Done.
So Andy, you can contact him tomorrow, so he has to go.
I will probably send them a text tonight and said we've approved the lease, and
Good to
Now, is
go.
that ambulance ready, or are we gonna have to wait for a long?
there's one in right now and there's more coming in.
Really? So we can have it soon?
So usually it's about a month from the time we order them to the time we
They
get them.
Get them?
They get them lettered, they get the lockdown system for the stretcher in them. And then state inspection, not vehicle inspection, but state
To make sure everything's
medical
in it.
inspection.
Yeah,
for licensing for it. And then there's, gotta register it, inspect it, all that stuff that usually the town clerk usually takes care of. And then getting Burlington Communication would be the one for that truck, getting them to come up to move our radios
yeah. Okay.
from our current truck over to the new one,
So we're trading in the old,
the brown.
the brown, okay. Whew. That was a good expenditure, but well worth it. Okay, any other business? Yes,
I
what?
don't mean to be difficult. This says August 27th, 2021 on this contract in order to attain this financing.
Oh, before we sign it? Oh, you mean you think we
This
can't get it?
transaction must be credit approved, all documents properly executed and returned to Baystone Government Finance, and the transaction funded on all proposals on or before August 27th,
I think what Kylie did, she
2021.
had put the paper in basically pending our approval.
Yeah.
So she has the paperwork.
That was just a copy of all,
Yeah.
for all of us. For us.
You mean she's taking care of the?
Yeah,
Yes.
it's within,
Okay.
it's within intent. If,
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
No, have you seen that?
Any other business?
Maybe.
Okay.
Yeah, I saw something of that.
Okay, and you're good with it?
It's not gonna be a home, it's gonna be a garage, right?
Apparently.
What are you talking?
Mike Smith wants to shut off his water and sewer and.
Oh, we
his-
need to talk about
and
that
his-
then.
And his trash service. And that back and forth with the trash thing was, I just asked for the current status because I didn't know if they collected any old past due trash bills during the transaction, which, you know,
I don't know if they did or not, that would be Kylie, right?
I guess, so I'll check on that, but. I
Before
mean,
it got sold, or when it got sold, they should have collected for the trash.
No.
But I don't know.
Yeah.
Should have been liens on it, right?
Right,
Yeah.
exactly, so, but I don't know, the real estate agent calls and says,
Well,
I got
that's,
a-
the
I got a
town clerk
client.
needs to look at that and say, well, there's this much garbage due.
who's supposed to look at it?
The town clerk, when they.
Okay.
when
There's a lien on it.
Well,
so
they
she
get
would-
the transfer tax in, I don't know that they look at each
Well, they always
transaction.
have.
Okay. I'll-
Anytime there's a
I'll come in
closing,
tomorrow and I'll
I
ask
can
about
remember
it.
when somebody paid my guy garbage for years on one of the closings, I won't say who, but I was like, wow. Maybe they could have made a deal with us, it was a lot of money.
Well,
At
the
the
property's
closing,
been
they're supposed to
vacant for
pay
a
everything.
number of years, so if the meter wasn't turned off in the past, I don't know why it wouldn't have had
It's
liens on
not
it.
supposed to be turned off.
Well, that's what I'm saying, but
And the
they said
lawyer's
no one's
supposed to
been in
find
there, no one's been in there for years is what I'm hearing.
Well, they may have shut the garbage in the years that it was foreclosed on, I don't know, but they,
I
that's
don't
up
know,
to the
if- I
town
don't even know
clerk.
that it was a foreclosure, but,
Was it a tax sale?
No, it's foreclosed.
Foreclosure.
okay. All right, well, I'll get with Kylie
Yeah,
tomorrow.
we'll find out
That's,
from her
that's the only
Because
other
they need
thing
to,
that I
anything
had.
like that, they need to put it as part of the closing is,
Yeah,
Right, 'cause
okay.
there's liens, that's what lawyers look for, is liens.
is the liens, yeah.
And those all have to be paid before the
I
person.
understand how
As
the,
long as we had liens against it on garbage or.
yeah,
that
or water
already
and
did.
sewer, yeah, would have been.
So, are we gonna decide on this discontinuance? Is that what we're talking about right now?
Well, yeah, I don't have a problem with them
No, it's a
turning it
garage.
into
Well,
a
the-
garage.
Yeah.
The problem is, from my understanding is, we need to dig it up so that you can't just hook it up again.
turn
At
it
the
back
owner's
on again.
expense, so,
Yeah.
is that, yeah, yeah.
So is that the answer you wanna give him, is at his expense? So he'd have to get together with Daryl. Who digs it up, Daryl?
Well, usually hire Alfred or
Alfred?
whatever to do it, yeah, that's,
I forgot about that, but yeah.
that's.
Well,
been-
yeah, it should be, if it's gonna be discontinued, it's supposed to be dug up, right? Because otherwise, we know some people that can hook it back up again.
That was
They
the
got the
policy
wrench.
in the past,
Yeah.
they
The
had to
wrench
start
out,
doing,
yeah.
I guess.
Yeah,
So yes, at the owner's expense, disconnect the services.
Yeah, are you making a motion?
I'll make a
I'll
motion.
second it.
Okay. Got that, Tim?
I got it.
So who's gonna contact Daryl? Or do you want me to send Mike a letter? Are you
Yeah,
gonna see him? No, okay.
okay,
Mike can discontinue at his own expense.
yes.
He has to have it, he has to let Daryl know, and Daryl will arrange to have it shut off. That way we know it's shut off.
Yes, the
Okay.
property looks a lot better.
Oh my God, yes.
Already.
Yes,
Now, oh, while we're at it, can I just mention the property up by me?
Uh-huh.
Behind the whole street.
Okay, which property?
Apparently it's that whole street now, it's that street, except for Beth's side.
What are we talking about?
Once
I must have
again.
That
missed the-
house right behind me. John knows what house it is, the
The one with
greenhouse,
big
white house,
dumpster.
the old striker house.
The one with the big dumpster, yeah.
Yeah, the big dumpster and then the other dumpster and the camper and the 3 cars out, 4 cars, however many out back now, and the ones on the street, now they're parking in front of the white building. And then the guy that is upstairs, the blue apartment, he's got a workshop in the middle of the driveway where they're supposed to park their vehicles on the other side. And there's a table out there and he has his tools out there and he's got a little canopy tent.
So he's got a business going there too?
Well,
Do you know where she's talking about?
It's
Right
the
up
Sweat
Sweat
Street.
Street.
Yes, I know what you're
So has
saying.
anything been done yet?
I've cited him twice.
So what are we gonna do now?
Well, you gave me permission to send
Too
it
big
to
of a
the
fire
attorney a
back
couple of
on.
weeks ago.
And did you?
I haven't yet, but
Okay.
So he can send it to the attorney.
Please do.
And please
It's
do,
just
she
ridiculous.
says, please
It's
do.
just ridiculous. It really is.
It
You come
is.
around the corner, you don't know if something's gonna run out in between, and they're on the road, they're on the front lawn, and all the right of way in the town. There's nothing. I mean, that camper lets loose and there's kids out back playing, they're done. The camper's tilted like this down the bank. So,
So you are taking care of that.
trying to.
Okay, what happens if we give them 2 notices and they don't do anything?
The only thing we can do is send it to the attorney. But as far as I know, I sent another one this spring. I don't think she's done anything. I've never received,
The attorney, which attorney are, the one that does our stuff
yeah.
now?
I've never received any notice that she sent out letters or anything.
Well, call her, 'cause they're back, because they did do the foreclosure. I don't get it, why the lawyers stopped working because of COVID. They were still in the office. I don't understand why everything's
can
so
work from
backed
home.
up.
and they're still at home. I mean, they
Yeah.
have computers on.
Because they say, oh, well, you know, COVID, you're home, no disruptions, just,
Courts
No.
weren't open.
You guys were doing ditching all the way up East Richford Side Road. Now, the 2 trailers up there, they have the 2 campers and about the 50 cars and all the junk. Is anything being done about them?
In town or up on your,
Up on my road.
is that my grandmother's old
Slide, yeah,
camp?
yeah.
Yeah, where the 2 trailers are.
I know. That's, yeah, it makes me sick.
It's getting worse. It's now, it used to be most of it on the side and behind us.
Well, a lot of the
towards
stuff-
the road.
Sherry, a lot of the stuff from down below, we cited,
And they-
went up there.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
So now it's time to
And
cite
it's just,
them.
they're,
To
it's
cite them up
awful.
there.
I hate to be the like, the bummer today, but geez.
I know.
It's really bad.
Yeah.
Yeah, and if you don't get to it now, winter's
Winter's
coming.
coming.
It'll sit there for another year.
It's crazy.
Any more business?
Amen.
Everybody's good? Meeting adjourned. Thank you all.